Welcome back. It's round 5.
What have you got for us today, Kira?
What have we got for us today? It's the first event of the 2026 Highlander Open Series here at Plenty of Games. It's round 5, and we have two very, very interesting decks down on the table. We've got beloved Highlander committee member Michael Billinghurst on Walks, and we've got Kieran Tierney on Mardu. These are two really interesting decks. I would say, like, you are used to seeing them at a Highlander.
They are, and they're very interactive decks. Like, they know how to interact with the board and with each other, but if you let them go, they take over the game. So let's see how exactly this goes.
Let's have a look on down at the table. Our players are getting shuffled up and ready to go for round 5. Both of these players are 2-1-1, so we're still live for top 8 today.
But they need to win out.
They need to win now. Michael Billinghurst, as well as we've said, beloved committee member. Michael has also put together this really incredible Open Series fund for new players. Oftentimes getting into a competitive level play format like Highlander can be really intimidating. Like, in terms, it's cost prohibitive. It feels really intimidating to go to an event, spend a lot of money on entry, lose out, and get nothing. And Billinghurst has decided to work with us here at PoG and create the Open Series fund for new players. So if you are a new player, you're curious and interested in playing in the Open Series, but you're really intimidated, you feel like you don't want to, spend money on an event, don't worry. If this is your first competitive play event, there is a fund that you can use and get entry into your first competitive play event.
That sounds amazing.
It's so incredibly kind, and it really speaks to the heart of kind of the community that has built around Highlander. And it's one of the things that I reference very often is just how wonderful the community is and how much I really enjoy getting to see all different kinds of people come together and enjoy and play. I love it. And so really fantastic. Huge thank you to Michael Billinghurst for starting that and putting the idea out there and getting that going.
Sounds great. Let's see how exactly you place today. It looks
Let's
like
they
have finished with the mulligans here.
That'd be Kieran on a mulligan there as well. We're going to resolve how we're going to go down to 6. I could see a Voice of Victory in there, which always, I love a Voice of Victory.
We've got Eolingus as well, I think, on the far end.
So did you know for the first, so I consistently have not seen the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie.
Okay.
And I finally watched all 3 extended editions because they just kept being things that would get in my way of seeing all 3 of them.
I mean, it was on today at the After Theatre, end to end, and maybe you're playing Highlander instead.
Yes, you could. All right, Prismatic Vista going to go get Basic Swamp.
And I think we're going to see that voice you were talking
Voice
about.
of Victory.
There
she
it
is. This card is awesome. This card is 3 creatures stapled together.
3 creatures stapled together, and your opponent can't do things on your turn.
Yeah. Walks as well. Do you find, like, my understanding of Walks is it's not incredibly interactive. It's more focused on executing the Walks combo.
The Walks deck is trying to be the best mid-range deck that it can possibly be. And then sometimes there's about 4 or 5 cards in the deck that if you draw them, you will win the game if you have 6 mana on the field. And part of the problem is getting to 6 mana, so you still need to play that mid-range field game. You still need to make it to 6 mana. So he's going to probably have a removal spell. And there we go, we've got Leyline Binding.
Leyline Binding, it looked like that was a Scrubland that was scried off the top of that hedge maze as well. So that Leyline Binding is only going to cost 2. And we're going to get rid of the Voice of Victory. Looks like, is that Mother of Runes?
That is a Cecil, I believe. And, well, so Cecil on the right, I think. And then
Cecil, and then, I'm becoming delinquent in my duties.
I believe it is a Mother of Runes because it's been immediately dismembered for life in this case. Holding up a, possibly a counter spell of some kind.
Ooh. Mother of Runes.
Okay. So, Kieran, just having a think here, do we want to do anything pre-combat or are we going to attack in with the Cecil?
Cecil always a very good, very aggressive card. I found the exact Secret Lair version of Mother of Runes as well that Kieran so kindly played.
Yeah, so he's got a black fetch, and I think I saw him to Turak in hand before, though it might have just been the Cecil art, but we'll see exactly where this ends up going. But, like, the fact that Michael hasn't used all the mana on his turn, I think he's hard representing some sort of counter spell, and Kieran needs to be a little bit careful about what he does here.
Godless Shrine going to be choice. Going down. 16 plays 15.
Interesting that he's gone and got the Godless Shrine there, because with the plateau on the board, we know that this is a 7-point deck, but he hasn't gone for the Scrubland, so perhaps I don't know exactly what the reason for doing that is. Possibly he's wanting to get his life total lower to get Cecil flipped earlier, because otherwise I don't really see a good reason to be exposing yourself like that.
This is a Hymn to Turok, and there's an Eternal Witness and a drop going into mid. How much does Walks fold to, like, hand hate?
It depends on what gets hit. The Eternal Witness going into the bid is a big hit. However, it doesn't hit the main combo, which is Spellseeker and Ephemerate, get Time Walk, and then on the Ephemerate rebound, getting Timeless Witness off Neoform. So the main combo is still there, but Eternal Witness being able to get the recursion with the Time Walk is still a lot of value that you're losing there.
This Lorraine reveal doing its best island impersonation.
So it turns out that the mana wasn't being held up for a counterspell. Instead, it's got a failure, and that failure, if the Eternal Witness was still in hand, would have been able to bounce it every single turn from here. Instead, we are going to be playing some more Fair Magic. Let's see exactly what failure decides to do here.
Get Pro going to be the get, and that's going to reveal
Dismember 4th.
Dismember 4.
When Kieran has the creatures on board, he can kill the failure and then attacking with the creatures he's already got there to get the Monarch. But Michael has put down a grist, so he's going to start. Looks like he's ticking down and we're making creatures, so they've got all the board here.
Grist. I love this. I love this art of Grist as well.
The extended up.
The extended art Modern Horizons 2 version. I'll pull that beautiful version up for you guys as well, so that you have a chance to gaze upon how pretty and kind of honestly gross the Grist is.
So Kieran here on 10 life, so if the setup hits Michael at the moment, he's going to flip into a 4/4. Makes life a little bit easier. It looks like he is fetching to go for the 4 Theolindus as well, though. So a little bit awkward in terms of the block that Michael has available for himself.
Does Walks tend to play very many free spells? Like, is this a moment where a force is going to be really vital?
There might be a force negation in the board, but there's really... Your free spells are more the fact that you can pod or Neoform or Green Sun Zenith into something bigger. You're never, like, getting a spell on 4/3 that one. And yeah, we're going for 4 Theolindus, X2.
Still seems pretty okay.
Yeah, and I think the Cecil might be a 4th spot. So it looks like I did misdo my math there. There was a Dismember cast first to get the life total down, but it's only a 4th Theolindus for 1.
Fourth for 1. Feels like there's very few instances in which fourth, like, at any level is not.
Oh, no, it is true. I just... Who knows what's that?
Well, fourth for 2 also good.
Probably that.
Plant is going to go in front of one of the creatures.
Goes in front of Cecil because the 2 force tokens are trapped. And the 1/1 isn't doing that much. But Cecil flips anyway. And so now attacking creatures have
Indestructible,
and he's got a 4/4 lifelink.
4/4 lifelink on 7 life feels pretty okay now.
Yeah, like Michael has a grist, he can kick it down to kill something if he's got a creature in hand, but it's still a little awkward to be.
The Monarch as well, also a fantastic feature. Gonna net Kieran extra cards.
So no creature, we're not ticking down, we just go straight up, get a second sapling, place a land from hand. We've got one card left here in hand, and not getting played with 5 open mana. So that sounds like a bad sign for Michael. And we're just doing an end of turn supply.
It seems like a really bit of a tough spot. what are the outs kind of looking like?
I think, like, he has to definitely block, but the art is going to be a spell seeker off the top, almost certainly. But it's not looking like it's a good place for Michael at this point.
Very few outs, especially with that Eternal Witness in the bin, which is just not really where it wants to be.
Have a quick look in Graveyard as well. Looks like he's got a Fatal Push left there in hand.
I wonder, is the Cecil other attacking creatures or just attacking creatures? Let's find out together. Other attacking creatures. You can still push the Cecil. Delight and Halfling go.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've missed something as to why he's not attacking with the Cecil. That's okay. He's got this 6 mana now. And attacks him for what is potentially lethal. Yes, he's got 2 removal spells, but he has 8 damage against 9 life. So Michael goes down to 1. And Kieran
Lordy.
with lightning. Going to flip the top card. It's the Birds of Paradise. That does not make it.
Birds of Paradise unfortunately does not say gain 10 life.
No.
Alrighty, well let's dive into some sideboards and have a little look at what we are dealing with. We'll pull these open. This is, we have a couple of other deck lists to have a look at. So, Billinghurst on Walks and Kieran on Mardu. Billinghurst, and let's have a little bit of a look-see. What does our sideboard look like for Billinghurst? Here we go. Alrighty. Here's our sideboard for Michael Billinghurst. I've got Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Blue Blast, Carpet, Collector's Consign, Damn Duress, Endurance, Flusterstorm, Force of Negation, Op Agent, Zane's Innocence, Emergent, Veil of Sun.
Yeah, so we're facing off against a Mardu deck, so I think we'll be bringing in a little bit of extra removal there. The Dam is definitely going to be coming in there as a Wrath effect that you can get off Spellseeker, and then Veil of Summer against the discard effects and removal effects that Kieran's going to be playing there as well.
Absolutely fantastic. Taking it over to Kieran's side. Containment Priest, Deafening Silence, Duress, Fire Covenant, Ghost Vacuum, Pioneer, Ink Shield, Call Against Command, Meltdown, Op Agent, Fire Blast, Red Blast, Snuff Out, Stony Silence, Wear, and Tear.
So we're bringing in some blasts to deal with all the blue spells. We're bringing in some Graveyard Hate just to stop the combo, because if you're playing the fair game on the board, you're probably winning that fair game on the board. I don't know Ink Shield off the top of my head. What does that card do?
Ink Shield, this is a really awesome, it's a commander card largely. This is going to be a 5 mana instant. It's 3 black-white. Prevent all combat damage to be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, creating 2 1 white and black Inkling creature token with.
That's expensive, but also very good fog.
It is indeed, because it's a fog that creates bodies for you so you can crack back.
Right, that's not exactly where we're going with this particular sideboard. A High Noon there also preventing the Ephemerate and Time Warp from being played in the same turn.
Yes,
also very powerful and quite hard for Michael to get rid of as well.
Something that I've been having absolutely a lot of fun at is throughout the day figuring out how many standard playable cards I can see throughout the day, and just kind of a brief tangent on how strong Standard has gotten. We've got Voice of Victory, we've seen One Tong, High Noon, Ghost Vacuum. You've got all kinds of really cool, really powerful cards coming through in Standard, and that just speaks to how strong it's gotten.
It is a very big rotation period in Standard at the moment. Is it 7 or 8 sets now at the moment?
I believe there's 8 about to be 9.
Okay, and that doesn't rotate until September, so we've got another 2 sets yet to be jammed into there. Standard is a very powerful format, and it's making its impact on Highlander.
because the next rotation for standard is going to be like the first month of January of next year.
Okay.
And
So they're not September, they're January.
No, so they're doing yearly set rotations.
Okay. Sounds good.
Which is interesting. So we've extended from 2 years to 3 years, and it's going to be starting at the top end of the year. And so in 2027, we are losing Wilds of Eldraine. We're going to be losing Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of what changes and what's coming up this year. There's a lot of Universes Beyond cards coming into Standard.
That's true. Speaking of Universes Beyond, the next Standard legal set we've got is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What exciting cards have you seen coming from that set? Because we're back here again in 2 more weeks to play Highlander again with that set included.
It's so true. I will actually say I'm like scrolling as fast as I can because of course Scryfall orders these things in color order. This is the card that I am the most excited for, and I'll pull it up for all of our beautiful watchers at home. This is Tucka and Razar. Terrible Twos.
The Terrible Twos. Okay.
The Terrible Twos. It is a 2-mana 3/2. This spell can't be countered. Menace. Whenever a player casts a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast it was less than its mana value, Tucka and Razar deal 3 damage to that player, so bolt you if you don't pay full price for your spells.
So, I used to think that Eidolon of the Great Revel was a powerful magic spell, and apparently that just wasn't good enough. It needed one more power, it needed menace, and it needed to deal more damage.
It's, again, we've said it before, we'll say it again, the push design philosophy, that things are just only getting stronger, they're only getting more powerful. I love this card, and I love this card in Highlander. I love it in Standard right now, especially when we're looking at like Evoke Elementals, we're looking at the Spelementals deck and the Lessons deck, where you have the automatic discounts applied and you are only paying less for your spells, and you're going to have to take 3 every time you do so. I love this card. Is there anything that you've been seeing in the TMNT set?
As a legacy aficionado, my favorite card so far is obviously the food chain reprint, but unfortunately that's not standard legal, and it's not very Highlander playable, unfortunately, either. But I'm sure there will be some cards I just haven't gone through it properly yet.
True enough, indeed. It's really interesting because we have in the past seen Universes Beyond cards have an impact in Highlander. Deadpool comes to mind as like a very powerful Universes Beyond card. Bowmasters as well for another. So.
And that was a secret rare drop. However, we do look like we are back in the action again. We're finished with our mulligans. Billinghurst has led on a Noble Hierarch into a turn 2 Grist, making an insect. And on the other side of the turn, we've got a Verdant Catacombs, and we're going to watch that get a Surveil, most likely.
Much better start for Michael this turn around.
Immediately winning out a Overlord of the Bale Merc as well, so keeping in those grindy effects by the look of it. But the Grist being online so early is just really, really powerful, because having that onboard way to destroy Kieran's creatures means that he can't get too far ahead without being tempoed by the Grist in play.
Shadowy Backstreet is going to mill a Badlands into the graveyard. That Badlands was a bad land.
Yep, and I can see a Leathergrowth, I think, in Kieran's hand at the very front. Do you know if he drew that this turn, or whether they just chose to go for the Surveil over the turn 1? It would only be a 1-1 turn 1 and just like not getting enough power down.
Quite possibly. I did also see in the back of Kieran's hand, I believe it was a Containment Priest.
Okay, and that's a pretty good card against Ephemerate. So turns off Green Sun Zenith as well, it turns off Burst and Pot, it turns off Neo as well.
Yep. It does quite a lot against Walk Stack, so very fair and reasonable to decide that putting in something that won't let creatures enter unless they were cast.
It is, however, a May effect on a lot of these, so it probably won't get anything exile, but it does make it a little bit. And he goes for a Darcy Voidwalker.
Darcy Voidwalker also seems like a pretty reasonable card to use against Billinghurst's deck, because this deck is going to rely on kind of like those Eternal Witness effects where you want to just keep getting things out of the bin. And Darcy Voidwalker says that's mine, actually. And
immediately you go for a tick down. Kills the Darcy by sacrificing an insect, and plays a Kishla Skimmer, a been actually making waves in vintage recently, but that's the first time you exile a card from your own graveyard on your turn, you get to draw a card.
Oh, very cool. Kishless Skimmer. I love it when random kind of uncommons just find and wheedle their way in.
Yeah.
Another wave.
The other wave comes down. It's now a 2/3 by the look of it. We've got 3 lands and a creature in graveyard.
Not too much of an exciting Nethergoyf, but always has the chance to get even bigger.
It is, but at the moment, there's not quite enough on board, so I think we're just going to see it bounce, and we're getting into what here from Michael's side.
Also, looks like we've got Philia was flashed in. Going to mill Mega Insect. That, I think, is a dam. That looks like Noctis's Death Magic, which is
That will be Noctis's Death Magic. Michael, a big fan of the Final Fantasy cards, and then going through Eternal Witness to get it back.
Whoppa! How good is that?
Chooses to land instead, though, so it looks like he might be a little short on mana since he's going for that play, and then immediately playing it so we've got the land drop for the turn.
And then we'll draw. Oh, it's when it's exiled. Sorry, I thought it was when it was leaves a graveyard. The card is exiled. So Kishless Skimmer does not trigger off of this one.
It should trigger off the Eternal Witness.
Ah, beautiful. My goodness. So many synergies.
Yep, that's a lot of what the deck is. Just everything works in its own way together. And we've gone for the Philia bouncing the Eternal Witness. Eternal Witness comes back. And we've gone for the Overlord of the Veilwork over the Noctis Death Magic. He's just that far ahead on board, and he can bypass that next turn.
Nearing down to 15. Hardcasting an Overlord of the Veilwork doesn't seem too bad. If Billinghurst's creatures can be bigger than Kieran's, it'll be hard for him to attack in. Imp Churak is going to be the spell of choice. Billinghurst's going to crack fetch in response.
That he has the Veil.
Ooh.
He does.
Veil. Dismember. Oh. Let's see what's happening.
Goes for Dismember, paying the life. What are we going for?
Oh. For life, not an insignificant amount of life to pay for any effect. Going for the failure. And then we're going to resolve him to Churak. Oi. Thoughtseize and Verdant Catacombs. Overlord of the Veilmark is safe.
Yeah, so we've got a big play next turn for Michael.
Yeah. Oh, because we can Philia flicker.
We can.
Oh no! That little dog can do so much. Non-land permanent. My goodness graciousness.
See what we're doing?
I feel like impending. I mean, the fact that we're not immediately running the Veilmark out makes me feel like we should do something really exciting. But we're going to impend Overlord of the Veilmark and mill 4 cards.
We see a new witness here, and we've got a Molt Tender.
Molt Tender. That'll be nice with the Kishless Skimmer as well.
Yep, that makes it activate every turn.
Looted Delta.
But he should also, with the Overlord coming in, he got something out of his graveyard, so we're going to trigger the Skimmer again.
Oh my goodness.
We're drawing so many cards. Fortunately, it only triggers once each turn.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would be as good as a catch-a-mode.
My goodness.
So it goes for the Eternal Witness.
Philia Flicker Eternal Witness. What do you think the benefit of flickering the Eternal Witness over the...
It means you don't need to get a permanent back.
Ah. And here comes Containment Priest.
So that means they're not returning the Eternal Witness this time.
And it's going to be exiled forever. Goodbye. Goodbye, eternal witness. You are no longer eternally witnessing.
Goodbye, sweet prince. I'm not sure that containment piece is going to last long, however.
No, grist. That looks like a yummy, yummy grist target if there ever was one. This is a really fun, like, interesting, like, trading of resources, punching back, punching back.
And as I said before, Walks is trying to be the best mid-range deck that it can possibly be, and then sometimes it might happen to compete.
This looks like we're confirming how many counters are on the Felia right now.
Looks like he might have missed his trigger, and we're just having a discussion about the fact that he's not going to get the second one because it didn't get announced.
It's so interesting. There's so much information to always keep track of. We'll confirm with our beloved judge.
Yeah, so if we have a look at what Felia says.
Yeah. Felia. Saber and Shepherd.
Says if the card that was exiled returns itself to play, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So because the Eternal Witness is in exile, it doesn't get that second card.
Yeah. So it'll just have the one counter on it. Never hurts to double check.
We're just doing a quick math check, so whether we can survive.
Always the question, can I make it to the next turn? Kieran's going to drop down.
Oh wow, we got a Fire Covenant here. So this is 1 black red, pay X life, and then deal X damage to any number of targets. Non-creature targets, I should say.
Fire Covenant. We're going to pull up the Ice Age version, because believe it or not, this got reprinted into one of the Lorwyn Commander decks. But we'll pull up the version that Kieran's playing with here. So, Fire Covenant. My goodness.
And that is Michael's board, Dawn, and Kieran now on 5 life. It only deals with creatures, so we've still got the Bailmerk, we've still got the Grist, but Grist gets immediately attacked. And yeah, Michael is going to have to do a lot to dig himself out of this hole that Kieran has just created for him.
My goodness. Not looking so good to have not flickered the Overlord now. But of course, the Containment Priest would have caught the Overlord as well. So it's very, very 50-50, it feels. My goodness. What are you looking now in this position? If you are Michael, what are we hoping to rip off the top?
That's a good question. I think it might be the dam out of your graveyard.
Yeah. Feeling like we should have picked up a dam at this point. It's just a tick down and pass. Wee.
Tick down pass, so it looks like we've got nothing relevant in hand. There's a lot of enabling effects that the deck has that he might have at the moment. I could see there being a Solitude as well as a possibility because he is holding up white mana there.
Yeah. Here comes Grief.
No, we're going to see exactly what it is that he has. Has a Drown in the lock.
Drown targeting Grief feels pretty okay.
Yeah, it means he can't do with the board though, but it's only a few more than 3 damage.
Drown on the Nethergoyf. Grief is going to reveal Beseiju. And then Containment Priest is gonna get in, get dirty, and deal 2.
Yeah.
I don't love this, let me tell you. I don't love this at all.
So we've held that card in hand again. Still nothing relevant by the look of it, but yeah, he takes the damage.
Takes the damage.
Goes to 4, this is a 1-turn clock, unless we've got something amazing. And that is a Jackrabbit?
That is a Jackrabbit.
Jacked up to 2 this time.
Let's jack it up.
And when that comes into play, it's going to make 2 1/1s along with it.
My goodness. Not the beefiest rabbit you've ever seen.
3 1/1s, apologies. He's got
Oculus.
an Oculus. So that's 6 cards in graveyard. He's got that. 5 power, an extra 2 on Kieran's turn.
Don't hate it.
Not the worst, except that Grief has menace.
Yeah.
So the tokens that came along with that Jackrabbit there, I think go a little too wide, that the Oculus doesn't quite get there, but I think he needs to get the Oculus and flip something good off the flip, and he decides to pack it up. He's not going to get there.
Unfortunately, we can't get there. That is going to be a clean 2-0 for Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That looked like it was so far ahead for Michael, and then that Fire Covenant just didn't work.
My goodness. And look, sometimes you see an old card and it just sweeps up the board. You see a lot of new creatures, you see a lot of recently printed creatures, but so many of your spells are just oldies but goldies. All right, well, that's going to do us for round 5. We'll be back shortly for round 6, which will be our last Swiss round before we head on over to the top 8. We'll send you guys on a quick flashback, and we'll be back for round 6.
See you there.